guys, this is April Jensen from makingfairies.com, ArtDolls.com, and Sculpt University. I just wanted to show you what I've been working on here. Here is a ghost person. I think it's going to be a lady. I'll have to get her finished up, but she turned out super cute. I just love her. And here's how our new witch doll is coming along. I just got the beginnings of her face done. I need to give her ears and a neck and get her all painted up nice, but here's how she compares to the first witch doll that we did. So in this Witchy Women workshop that I'm having, you will get the instructions on how to make both of these dolls. So that's fun. And this one's going to be more not so green. The first one I made green, and this one I'll do a little bit more of a skin color. So I just wanted to show you today how I'm doing her ear. Now on her head, I'll end up filling this in a bit on the back here, but I'm going to first put in an ear because we already have the correct distance essentially. So first I want to just get a little ball of clay. Now when you're doing this, it's best to get 2 balls of clay ready to go at once, so you've got both ears ready for creation. So what I'm going to do actually is make this ball a little bit bigger and then split it in half. So that feels like about the size I want. After you do it so many times, you kind of get a feel for what you're looking for. So I'm going to set one of these balls aside for the second ear. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of pat it out a little bit. And then I'm also just going to go ahead and cut this side off. Now, for doing an ear, placement is important, and how you decide where to place the ear is you look at the head as one full circle, and then you imagine a line but cut in half, and then you're going to put the ear on the back half. Then also you're going to want to pay attention to where you're placing that ear height-wise. Typically you want it to be in between the eye line and the corner of the mouth. So usually if you get it in that vicinity, it's going to look lifelike enough. All right, now one thing to note about the ear is it actually leans back at about a 15-degree angle. So it doesn't go on straight up and down there. It kind of leans back just a little bit. So first what I'm going to do is just go all around it and really blend this ear into the clay below. Now oftentimes when I make ears, I will just do this when the clay is still unbaked. But when you're starting out, it's typically easier to go ahead and bake the face first so you don't squish any of the features as you're doing the ear. But just do whatever works best for you. The thing is when it's baked already, you need to spend a little bit more time making sure that ear is really adhered well to the rest of the head. Now on the back here, you want to leave a little bit of space because usually ears kind of extend out a little bit from the head. And so you want to pay attention to every aspect, including the back side of it too. With this part, I will later go through with some smoothing gel and really smooth it in so you don't see any blend lines at all. Now I find with an ear, even if you've done them many times, it's always best to have a reference photo to look at. And if you've done another doll recently, it's especially nice to just have that doll to look at because then you've already figured out flipping the right and the left ear so they are similar to each other. And then you can just look at the ear that you have handy. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So on these ears, I like to start by indenting in this area, just like that. And in the process, I'm going to leave this little flap of skin called the tragus. And then I'm going to kind of work on that lobe just a little bit. And then I like to just press in. This part, as you can see down here, is going to curl into that hollow that we just made. So I'm actually going to make my hollow just a little bit bigger up here. And give plenty of space for that part of the ear ridge to curl in like that. And as it curls in, it kind of shrinks down and blends into that hollow area. Okay, easy enough, right? And this time I'm just doing it with my wooden tool. And that works as well. You can use a variety of different tools for ears. As I'm doing this, I'm pressing the tool up and under, so I'm catching this sort of a lip. That's that outer cartilage on the ear that kind of just curls over. I even literally pull on it, so it does curl over. Okay, now I've got it kind of puffy back here. So I think what I'm actually going to do is take my knife and just slightly hollow that out. And while I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm going to switch to a smaller tool so I can put in the triangular fossa up here. And what that is, right now you've got this Y shape. Here's one side of it and here's the other. And then all I'm going to do is hollow out that V shape that would be at the top of the Y. So if you think about it that way, it's usually a lot easier to stay on track. Now we're just going to bring this around from the outside. Now, I'd like her to have more of a lobe, and she's kind of got too much over here. So rather than trim this off, I'm just going to stretch it and bring it downward a bit. Okay, now we need to go through and redefine some of our space. I think I'm even going to dig out just a little bit of clay right there. Now I'm going to refine the shape of the tragus. And then this outer ridge indentation. Make it a little deeper and then curl it over. Now in the last witch I did quite a elf kind of like ear, and I made it super large on her. So that's how that one looked, and this one's going to have more of a lifelike style of ear. So remember, you've got both videos to refer to in the Witchy Woman Workshop, as well as some bonus footage of how I put this gal together and doing those wrinkles. Okay, now for me, it's a little bit thick back here. So I'm going to just give it a little trim. I think I trimmed a little bit more than I intended off of that lobe, so I'm just going to drag it down just a little bit. As you get older, your lobes get a bit droopy anyway, so that's going to look cute on her. I'm going back in there with a smaller tool to open this conch area up again. There. Now when you're doing an ear, one of the last tricks I like to do is to take a brush with some smoothing gel and go through the whole ear shape so you can get it nice and smoothed out and kind of hide any tool marks that you don't want showing there. Now on this one, I'm going to press in a bit further at the top here. So she's got a little more space where the ear is just kind of more free away from the head. And then smooth that all back into the head again. All right, so the last thing to do is to go through with some brushwork. Just go through the whole thing and get it all cleaned up that way. So that is your basic tips on how to sculpt an ear. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you want to see how this witch comes together, every step, every detail, please stop by makingfairies.com or look at the link below this video, and it will show you how to get into the Witchy Woman workshop. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great evening, and enjoy your sculpting.